everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Adam, this is my channel Adam Sews, and for any of you that are new here, welcome. If you like the content that I put out, if you would click the like button and hit subscribe on your way out, that would be awesome. I have come today to talk to you about the process of building the Tula Pink pixel quilt, which some of you may have seen her unbox over on Instagram a couple of days ago. This has been an ongoing process that has been going on for about the last 6 months. So I thought I would go through today the process of putting a pixel quilt together, how to design one, and the finished quilt basically. So let's get into it. For a long time I have been listening to podcasts with Pixel Quilt on, the lovely Dee. She lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but is originally a Brit, the same as me, from over here in the UK. She has really interesting stories about how she ended up in Oklahoma and moving back to and from the US to the UK. So if you don't know who Pixel Quilt is, please go and follow her on Instagram. Check out her website, which I will link down below if you want to design your own pixel quilt. And there is a whole host of podcasts that she's been on as well, which she talks about her story and how she became Pixel Quilt basically. So I do urge you to go and check her out afterwards. Her company, the way that she set it up, the battles that she's had to go through with other companies and different things like that are really interesting. I won't be going into it because it's not my story to tell, but go and listen to some of the podcasts and find out a bit more about Dee, because she is just an awesome person. So I thought I would go through how I got to the point of making a pixel quilt and how I managed to actually get it to Tula herself. So I had this idea about 6-7 months ago, and I thought I would love to make a pixel quilt. Who would I make a pixel quilt of? And I was sort of inspired by Dee, the owner of Pixel Quilts, in the sense that she has made a lot of pixel quilts that are of inspirational women in her life, people that have significant meaning to her, or have invoked memories and different things like that. So she's done a lot of quilts of very famous people that are sort of like strong women figures in the art and culture and different types of worlds basically. So I sort of sat back and thought about it, and I thought, if you can hear licking in the background, that is my dog that's decided to come in and clean his legs underneath me on the floor, as he always seems to do. So I sort of took a bit of a nod from Dee and thought, well, one of the most inspirational people for me is Tula. I love her fabrics. I love the way that she designs. The artwork behind her designs is absolutely incredible. She's a really likable person. I like the fact that she's really family orientated. So I just thought, why not put a picture of Tula onto Pixel Quilt's website, play around with a couple of different images that I got from the archives of photos of Tula and stuff, and thought, let's see what we can do. So I uploaded a couple of different photos, and the first few I was kind of a bit like, I don't really know. I didn't really like the colouring and different things like that. Dee's website's really great because you can swap out and you can do it in a sepia base, a much pinker base, you can do it in black and white, you can do it in all different sorts of shades. So I ended up finding this particular picture, which is this image here. And I really like the fact that it was quite neutral. There was scope in the picture because there was a lot of black and a lot of white, and there was some grey tones in there as well. So it actually meant that I could actually pull some of Tula's white on whites, grey on greys, and black on black, which meant that I could kind of incorporate as much of her neutral fabrics as possible, which is a bit of a struggle with Tula's fabrics because they are all so vibrant. And then I had a thought, maybe I should do it like a pop art, like sort of Andy Warhol take, and use some of her sort of more brighter solid tones. And then I thought, it's not going to work. So I substituted as many as I could of the Kona solids with Tula's sort of fabrics that read as a solid, and went about ordering the pattern. So this is the pattern that I designed. I really liked it because it's quite visually obvious that you can pick out the details in Tula's face, like her glasses, her highlights in her hair, the snakes on her shirt that she's wearing in a particular photo. So I went with that. So Dee's website's really good. So once you pay for your pattern and you've selected the image that you are happy to proceed with, it then generates a list of all of the fabrics that you would need. It's got a whole detailed description about cutting your fabric piece in your blocks, pressing your blocks, sewing each row together, dividing your block into subsections. So this is a image of how to break up your blocks into subsections and different things like that. So every single pattern is completely unique to the image that you've uploaded, basically. So you're generated a pattern that is custom and specific to the photo that you want to use. It then goes into detail about all of the different colours that you need, all of the names of the colours of the fabrics that you need. If you choose Kona, you can choose Bella Solids, and I think there's another one as well that you can choose. And then you basically get a huge breakdown of all of the internal blocks of the quilt for each row. So one page is one row. So I believe my quilt that I made was 12 rows. And so I went about cutting it all out. I cut everything in a day and laid it all out, and then I looked at it, and I'm not gonna lie, I sort of thought this is a lot of piecing, and I chose to do it the traditional piecing way rather than using a grid interface or anything like that. So it did take me a little while, but you kind of get into a rhythm of it after a while, and then you kind of log in your head. Well, I managed to sort of log what colour responded to each letter. Dobby, really? So I went about creating the quilt. It took me the best part of 6 months to put together, because I've been working on it in between other projects, custom orders and packing orders and my job and everything else. So it did take me a little while. I also got to a point where I sort of thought I need to put this to one side for a little while because I needed to focus on other things. So had I focused on it and actually made it continuously, I probably would have got it done in a couple of weeks, but I was away and different things like that. So it did take me a little while to put together. So after sort of basically putting together the sort of first 4 rows, where I basically got to about here on Tula's face, stepping back from it and taking a photo, it was kind of wild that you could actually see everything developing. I'll try and insert some photos as I'm going along, because I did take photos of the process throughout. So yeah, it kind of, at first you sort of look back and you think, oh, I can't see anything here. It doesn't make any sense. It just looks like gobbledygook. But when you then step back away from it, it's almost like watching an old image download on like an old dial-up internet, when you used to have the image that you sort of used to just sort of like download section by section, and then it would get clearer and clearer. So it was kind of like that, which was kind of weird. I didn't also realise how vast in size the quilt that I selected would be. Because I've seen other pixel quilts and they're nowhere near the size that I chose. I don't know why I chose such a big quilt, but there we go. So yeah, when it came together, I was absolutely amazed by it. I just kept looking at it thinking, I can't believe that I've managed to create this. So I went about sending it off to my lovely friend Graham, who is Far Corner Quilting. If you need any long arming or anything like that in the UK, please check out his website. There will be links to his website down below. He does some awesome edge-to-edge designs. And I spoke to him and was like, right, I'm working on a secret project. I'd already spoken to Tula's brother Cam about it, because I wanted to make sure that I was actually going to be able to gift it to her, because I know that they have to be really careful about what gifts they accept, because they only have so much space. And when I sort of like shared the progress with him, he was like, yeah, look, once you're done, let me know and I'll let you know where to send it to, and we'll arrange for Tula to open it, and it'll be a surprise. So he kept it from her the whole time, which was absolutely awesome of him, and I cannot thank Cam enough for basically making this happen. So I sent it off to Graham. He long-armed it. I spoke to him about Festival of Quilts about it and said, look, I'm working on a secret project. I do need to have a chat with you about it, because I wanted to keep it as quiet as possible. So he long-armed it for me with Tula's Fairy Flakes OESD embroidery edge-to-edge file. So it was custom edge-to-edge in a sense, because it was custom to Tula's designs. So I will now insert some footage, of me unveiling the quilt once I got it back bound and it was finished up on my display frame. So some of you may not know, but for the last, probably the best part of 4 months, I have been working on a very secret project. I have been keeping it very quiet, and I haven't released anything until she's arrived at her final destination. And I thought I would go through what she is. There's a sneak peek of her over my shoulder, and she's been quilted in this incredible edge-to-edge of fairy flakes by the incredible Graham from Far Corner Quilting. If you ever need an edge-to-edge or any quilting done, please make sure you give him a ring. I will put all of his details down in the description box. But let's take a little walk around, and I will spin the camera around and show you what I've been working on. So that is basically it. That is the finished pixel quilt. If you want to see Tula's unboxing of it, if you head over to my Instagram, which is @AdamSews, in my story highlights, there is a little icon that says Tula Pixel Quilt, and it is in there for you to watch her reaction to receiving the quilt. I am so pleased that she was happy with it. The reaction was absolutely priceless. I have watched it more than once because I still can't quite believe that one of my quilts is now in Tula's archive, which is just wild to me. So I will talk to you all really soon. I hope you have enjoyed me explaining the process of putting a pixel quilt together. If you have any want or desire to make one, head over to Pixel Quilt's website and upload some images and have a play around with them and see what you think. You can upload as many images as you like before you find the one that you like, and then you can then head over and basically say, that's my image, I know I want to make that one. You can pay for your quilt and it will instantly generate you a pattern, and yeah, then you can get making your own pixel quilt. And if you do make one, be sure to share it on Instagram. So thanks for watching. I will talk to you all really soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now.